Hey everybody, Pacers insider Dustin Dopirak. Justin Martinez, the Oklahoman, trending writer, but he's on the Thunder beat this week out here in Indianapolis. We're going to have a Game 7 in this series. Somehow it makes sense for as weird and wacky as it's been. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it, more or less? Basically, 108-91 Pacers win this one. Basically, the last game in Cambridge either way. Going to Oklahoma City for Game 7. Big time just really flip of Game 5 here pretty dramatically. Especially, I think the turnover battle was really what changed this thing. Last Game 5, the Thunder win points off turnovers 32-9. This one, it was... I think it was 21-11. 21-11 as far as turnovers were concerned. 19-13 points off turnovers. Felt bigger than that, honestly, just because it was dramatic early. I think it was 13-2 maybe in the first half. So obviously the Pacers were looking at that as a focus to try to flip that thing. What happened with Oklahoma City, basically? What led to? I mean, some of that's obviously Pacers defense, but what were some of the things that they said went wrong there?
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of OKC. This is actually only the third time all playoffs that they have lost that turnover battle, and this is the most that they have lost it by 10. Before that, it was only 5. So very uncharacteristic. You got to give a lot of credit to Indiana. I thought that they were picking up Shea in a different spot than they usually are. Maybe that threw him a little bit off balance. Tied for a career high 8 turnovers in this one for him. So very uncharacteristic as well. And then, playing here at home for Indiana, you definitely feed off of those turnovers. It can really kind of snowball on you. And I thought that's what we saw tonight.
Right, you obviously saw that in Oklahoma City in Game 5. It definitely seemed like the Pacers made a mistake, those snowball, because the Thunder fans got really loud. It got incredibly loud in here. Thought Andrew Nembhard, you mentioned where Shea was getting picked up. I thought Andrew Nembhard did a fantastic job of just turning his fortunes around. Basically did not have a particularly great game in Game 5. Shea had 31 and 10. Andrew had 4 turnovers, 3 really big ones down the stretch. I think 3 in the fourth quarter. Really bad times. Nembhard really turned this thing around. I think he had 4 steals in this game. Had a couple big threes in the first quarter that kind of got things started after the Pacers fell behind 10-2 and missed their first, 7 shots. Nembhard got going. Jalen Williams, I think, was minus 40 in this game, which didn't seem fair necessarily. Didn't seem like he necessarily played bad. But what did you see in terms of what made it harder for them to get him going the way that he did in Game 3? Game 5?
Yeah, you're going to get some of those crazy plus minuses in a game like this for sure. I mean, Jalen Williams, for the most part, has been playing really well this series, but in this one especially, it just felt like, I thought they were getting really good pressure on him. They did a good job after the early parts of cutting him off from the rim. I thought he got a few clean looks at the rim early on. Wasn't able to do that the rest of the night. And then, as you saw, as the game started to get out of hand, I think they started to play a little bit more and more outside of the way that they usually do, and that kind of led to what you saw tonight.
Is that kind of what you saw from the bench guys? I mean, the Thunder bench has been so good in this series, basically, and I think someone actually pointed out in the post-game press conference to Tyrese, and he was even surprised about this, that whoever has won the bench points battle has actually won the game in every game in the series. I think it was 19-3 at one point. I think at halftime, something like that. That's not normal, consider how productive those guys have been. I mean, where did you see them just go sideways for everybody else?
Yeah. You hear the phrase "role players play better at home." It feels like that has been the case in this series. Obi Toppin, was it a game high 20 points for him in this one?
Game high 20 points. Well, he had 20. Shea had 21.
21, yes.
So yeah, but
team high either way. You'll take that every day of the week from Obi Toppin and anyone else off the bench for Indiana. And that has been a big deciding factor in this one. These are 2 of the best benches in the league. It's a big reason why they have gotten to this point. And in this one it was Indiana which really ran away from it with it.
Yeah. No, key performances for bunch of those guys. Obi Toppin had 20 points. TJ McConnell, who's just been terrific the last couple games, I think it's 12 points. 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. I have to double check that one, but I think I'm right on that. But he was up and down as he has been. Making big shots in that mid range, but rebounding the ball really well when a guy's 6'1" and striking down 9 rebounds. That man has hustled pretty much, and obviously he was getting up into ball handlers as he tends to do with 4 steals. Pretty good game from Aaron Nesmith. He had 10 points. Tyrese Halliburton, obviously comes into this calf strain. Basically said that were this a regular season, he would not be playing. Flat out. That this is not something he would really think about. I asked him in pregame, basically, like, what did you have to hear? He said, well, I just had to hear it was okay. I'm like, well, did you hear that you weren't exposed to a potential risk? He said, no, that's not what I heard, more or less. I mean, he was basically said, like, yeah, there's a risk. Yeah, this could be a problem. Things could go wrong, but it's worth it. If I can run, if I can move, if I can do anything, I want to be out there. And he said that in pregame. He said it again in postgame. 14 points, 5 assists, a couple big steals. One of the more sort of dramatic telling moments of the game, he had a steal where he kind of flipped a no-look ahead to Pascal Siakam for a dunk, and Siakam doesn't dunk that much for as big as he is. So that was kind of a big moment, and obviously got this crowd pretty much incensed, but it seemed like it was a significant momentum thing just for him to be out there. I mean, you could tell he wasn't 100%. You could tell he didn't have quite the moves. Seemed like he was sort of leaning more on his left than he usually does, but still made some pretty big plays. And it just was important that he was out there. I mean, I think even if he's just a decoy, it matters because the Thunder have to commit some defense to him. Lou Dort's going to be chasing him around. Alex Caruso's going to be chasing around when Lou Dort's not on the floor. That requires some things. Obviously, he was able to get out of there only playing 23 minutes in this one. He didn't have to play the fourth quarter at all. So pretty important stuff for that. So obviously, Pacers go forward with a little momentum. The Thunder do get the home court back. Just what was your read of these guys coming off basically in the locker room, in post-game? Just what was their sense? Were they shocked? I mean, where exactly was the mindset of the Oklahoma City Thunder after this one?
It's funny because they have these phrases that they always love to throw out throughout the whole season, past few years as well. And one of the big ones is that the next game is the most important game, and that never really has been more true than it is going to be on Sunday.
Can't be more true.
It can't be, So this is going to be a big one. Obviously, it is a young team, so the lack of experience has been a big topic for them. But at the end of the day, they do have some experience in this department. They were in a Game 7 in Denver 2 series ago. They can kind of go back to that experience and maybe kind of see what they can pull from there. But it is going to be just a winner-takes-all between two teams that, have had great seasons so far, and we'll see who's able to come out on top.
Right, there hasn't been a Game 7 in the NBA Finals at all since 2016 when the Cavs come back from down 3-1 against the Warriors to win that series. The Pacers have won a Game 7, not in this playoffs, but last year went to the Garden and won that one going away. But obviously, like you said, the Thunder have experience too. So we'll see how this one goes. It's been a weird, wild series. It only makes sense that it would go to 7. And, of course, the Pacers are 1 win away. Thunder are 1 win away from what will be the first NBA championship for either franchise. We'll see how it goes.